Thumbnails are one of the most important parts of creating YouTube videos. They are a future viewer's first impression, which will help them decide if they want to click on your video or scroll past it. So today I'm sharing some super secret hacks and power tips, which will help your thumbnails stand out. Power tip number 1. When possible, have a person in your thumbnail and make sure that person is large enough in frame so that the viewer can see their eyes. Eyes are such an important factor of conveying emotion and making a connection. Power tip number 2, we're talking about text, or rather lack of text. Limit how many words you're using to about 4 or 5. Also, make sure to use a big, bold font that is contrasting with the background and is easy to read. Don't use light text on light backgrounds or dark text on dark backgrounds. Also, thumbnails don't always need text. Sometimes you can let the image itself do the communication. Power tip number 3, treat each element of your thumbnail as a subject. A picture of someone is a subject. The text is a subject. A graphic element is a subject. Try to limit your thumbnails to having 3 subjects at the most. If you have too many things to pay attention to, it just gets distracting for the viewer and chances are their eyes will skip on to the next thumbnail. Power tip number 4, use negative space. What I mean by this is it's okay to have some empty space in your thumbnail. This negative space or just empty background space will actually help the viewer focus on the subjects you want them to focus on. Power tip number 5, compare your thumbnails against the competition. This is where I want to briefly talk to you about today's sponsor, vidIQ, which is a big part of my thumbnail strategy. vidIQ is a tool that I use on all of my videos to help optimize them for success. I spend a lot of time shooting and editing, and I want each video to put its best foot forward. In my content development process, I will do research on my title to see which thumbnails I'll be competing against in search. This helps me choose my overall design, including colors, so that I can help stand out against the competition. Now, vidIQ does a lot more than just thumbnail comparison. They also offer tools that help with keyword research, SEO, analytics, and your overall channel performance. They even have new tools like Daily Ideas, which gives you brand new, relevant video ideas every day. Check them out at the link in the description. All right, now that we have these power tips out of the way, let's talk about a secret hack that will involve a little bit of work up front, but will save you a ton of time down the road. We're talking about batch shooting your thumbnails. All right, so we are here in the studio and I'm getting ready to set up and take a bunch of different pictures that I'm going to use for my thumbnail workflow. Basically, I'm going to be capturing different emotions that will be useful for different title ideas. Happy, sad, surprised, intrigue, concern, and more. I recommend finding a plain wall to use as your background and creating a little bit of distance between yourself and the wall and making sure to light yourself well. This shot today, I'm standing in front of the camera, I'm a few feet from the background, and I have a big softbox at about a 45-degree angle from me, which is lighting me, as well as a rim light behind me, which is helping separate me from the background. Once the photos have been captured, I will bring them into a photo editor where I'll be able to cut myself out of the photo and remove the background. To do this in Photoshop, simply use the Smart Subject Selection tool, click yourself, and let the computer do the work. If for whatever reason this isn't working for you, you can also do it manually by using the pen tool point by point. Once the photo is cut out, I will save it as a PNG, which will maintain that transparent background. Now when I go to create a brand new thumbnail, I don't always have to go shoot a new picture because I have an archive of images of a bunch of different emotions cut out and ready to go for the design process. I can simply create a nice background, drop my image in, and mess around with the design. To find out more power pack tips of how you can grow from 0 subscribers to full-time on YouTube, continue on to this video here. And as always, stay creative. Peace.